we will finally look at the pancreas, the pineal gland, and the thymus in this last recording. So the pancreas is behind the stomach, so it's posterior to the stomach, and it is actually right up against part of the small intestine, right here. And this part of the small intestine is called the duodenum, or duodenum. There's actually a little hole right here in the duodenum, and there's a duct leading to the pancreas, and this is called the main pancreatic duct. So the pancreas is actually an exocrine organ and an endocrine organ. It's going to have secretions going out into the duodenum, and it is going to be digestive enzymes. The pancreas is also an endocrine organ, releasing 4 hormones. 2 of them we'll look at. However, when we look at the histology, we're going to see it's mostly these cells making the enzymes that are going to go and mix with the food in the duodenum. The pancreas is a mixed gland. It has exocrine functions. There are secretions from these acinar cells, so it's supposed to look like a little berry, and that's going to go in here. So if we looked at the histology, we have all of these pancreatic acini. And those make digestive enzymes that are going to digest. Every once in a while, when you look at the histology, you have these islets. And you guys get lucky. You guys get to learn they are called pancreatic islets. I got to learn islets of Langerhans. So, he was Dutch, by the way, not German. These islet cells, there's alpha, beta, delta, and gamma. We're only going to worry about the alpha cells in them and beta, and on the histology you can't really tell. So, hormones are produced by pancreatic islets, which would be right here. So, the islet cells produce at least 4 hormones. So this would be that right there. And then these are the cini, making the digestive enzymes. There's alpha cells, and there's beta cells, and then we have delta and gamma, which we're not going to worry about. Alpha cells make glucagon. Glucagon is a very well-named hormone because it's glucose, G-L-U, gone. Because you have low blood sugar, your blood glucose is gone. It raises blood sugar. The beta cells make insulin. This lowers blood sugar after a meal. I am tired of students arguing that it raises blood sugar. It's made in response to blood sugar. It's actually really cool. It is affected by growth hormone. It is affected by epinephrine and cortisol. It is affected by the parasympathetic nervous system. Guess the nerve. It starts with a V. So, it responds to low sugar in the blood to begin with. So it has every single release factor possible. So it lowers blood sugar. In physiology, you'll learn it does a whole bunch of other things. So it's a very important gland. So this is the hormone that's affected by diabetes. In type 1, there's no insulin because these alpha cells have been destroyed by the immune system. So you don't make it. So this is an insulin dependent. Type 2, there's no receptors. It makes plenty of insulin. The receptors just aren't responding. So there's a high blood glucose level. And you'll learn in physiology this wreaks all sorts of havoc on the blood, having a high solute concentration of glucose that you're not absorbing. Now, this diabetes is called diabetes mellitus. Remember, diabetes insipidus can be lack of either antidiuretic hormone or lack of aldosterone. So, insulin is going to cross the plasma membrane. So it's going to lower blood sugar levels. It let you make it after a meal. Muscles and fat cells have lots of receptors, so does the brain. Other things like connective tissue and epithelial tissue lack them. Now, let's say you're stressed. You're going to make lots of cortisol, the stress hormone, and lots of epinephrine, another stress hormone. They're trying to get glucose into the blood. So both of those are going to have tropic effects of inhibiting insulin. So people who are under chronic stress usually have high blood glucose levels, and they might be pre-diabetic because of this. Glucagon is its antagonist. It allows glucose to enter the blood from the liver. And you're going to make new glucose in the liver, and both epinephrine and cortisol, the stress hormones, are going to help glucagon in its functioning. So these guys are antagonists. You're actually making a balance of the two of them, not just all of one or all of the other. The pineal gland, it's located in the epithalamus right here. So this is the thalamus, this is the hypothalamus, here's the pineal gland, and it looks like a pine seed. Literally looks that big. These are $10 a pound, by the way. It's found in the brain. It secretes melatonin. It's actually connected to the optic nerve. It's a photosensitive. It's related to how much light you get. So it's made at night when there is darkness, meaning you're not staring at that bright screen of your phone. And melatonin helps regulate your sleep cycles. Now, this lizard actually has a third eye right there. It bugs me when yoga teachers say your third eye is right there. And this is directly attached to the pineal gland. For us, we actually have nerve fibers from the optic chiasm right there that are going to the pineal gland saying, it's dark, we should sleep now. But of course, we're watching Netflix or you're on your phone playing Candy Crush or whatever. So the pineal gland makes melatonin, helps regulate sleep cycles. The poor thymus is the structure that doesn't really have a home. It's part of the lymphatic system, it's part of the endocrine system, it's part of the immune system. It sits on top of the heart, so your heart would be here, and the thymus would be this blob on top of it. Now, it's largest in infants and children because it plays a role in maturation of white blood cells and developing the immune system. So, starting at 20 and probably ending at 40, it starts to recede. And by the time you're 50 or 60, it's just this massive adipose tissue. And the hormone, I'm going to be nice, is thymosin. It helps mature white blood cells, which are a type of immune cell. Now, in reality, it's at least 4, thymosin's really 4 different hormones, but I've already gone through about 20, 25 hormones, and that should be enough for one lecture. Let's say you just ate 100 grams of gummy bears. What hormone will you make? I really hope you said insulin, because it lowers blood sugar in response to high blood sugar, and that's 100 grams of glucose. Actually, it's 50 grams of glucose and 50 of protein. At night, you're staring at your phone at 3 in the morning because you have a test tomorrow. What hormone are you inhibiting looking at all that bright light? It's melatonin. Which 2 hormones did I tell you were stress hormones? Epinephrine and cortisol. Those are the 2 stress hormones. Which one of these is a steroid? Cortisol is the steroid. And where is cortisol and the other steroids made? The adrenal cortex. Where's epinephrine made? The adrenal medulla. So, that is at the end of our lecture for the endocrine system. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you next week when we talk about blood.